look, man, if you haven't started incorporating this one simple and small habit into your overall routine, then you're truly missing out. And what I'm talking about is none other than fasting. Yes, sir, let me repeat that again. What I'm talking about is none other than fasting. So let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So you might have heard about fasting when it comes to religious sense. Maybe things like Ramadan, which just passed. Shout out to all my Muslims. Maybe it was more of a dietary type of content to it with intermittent fasting. But in totality, fasting is just abstaining from food and sometimes abstaining from food and water. That is dry fasting. There's water fasting, obviously, where you just don't eat food. So today we're gonna kind of split those two together in different categories, but we're gonna be talking about overall the benefits of fasting, why you should fast, and how essentially you could go about it to improve your overall life. Because I'm telling you right now, fasting will help fix a ton of your problems. A ton of your problems. So one of the main things you'll feel when you fast is that you feel light. You feel light mentally, physically, and spiritually. What do I mean by you feel light? Well, obviously physically you feel light. Like you don't feel heavy. You don't have food in your stomach. You're not digesting. You're not in that state of your nervous system where it's resting and digesting, but you're in repair and rejuvenation, but also you feel more alive. You feel more bouncy. You feel more just, in a sense, not bogged down by food in your stomach. It's just pretty simple. And that translates to your brain. When you fast to a certain degree, couple, maybe 10 to 12 hours, I would say. Don't quote me on this when it comes to scientific stuff, because I don't got all the stuff in front of my face right now, just coming off the dome. But let's say 10 to 12 hours, your brain starts releasing BDNF. That is essentially a nootropic compound in the brain that improves your acuity, improves your focus, improves your concentration, improves just your overall brain power. And anybody out there who's fasted before, who just does intermittent fasting in the mornings and does their work in the mornings, maybe they just have coffee, maybe they just have tea, some type of stimulant, it just, your brain is so clear, so crisp, so locked in and focused, laser focused on whatever work that you're trying to do, because it's not having to worry about digesting any type of food in your stomach. Because even though you're not thinking about, oh man, I gotta digest this food in my stomach, it's gonna still take energy from your brain, from your nervous system, from your overall system, your whole bodily system, to do that. When that's not the case, you can focus all your attention, all your effort, all your concentration onto whatever task needs to be at hand. And so you feel light, your brain feels light, your brain feels crisp, your brain feels almost like it's on, you went from 720p to 4K flat screen TV. You went from 720 on your iPhone 4, and then now your whole brain is pretty much processing on a 4K flat screen TV with all these different types of gadgets that come with it. So you're just be able to more, like your output is gonna be raised to a higher extent. You can get a lot of shit done off of 4 hours of fasting. Let's say the last time you ate was 10 o'clock. You go to sleep at 12. You get up at 8 hours of sleep. From 8 to 12, again, say 4 hours of fasting, your work is gonna be so locked in, so dialed in, compared to if you just woke up at 8, ate food, then you went and did your work. It's gonna be night and day, bro. I'm telling you right now. So for the people out there that want to improve their productivity, improve their mental focus, improve their outputs in their career, their business, their schoolwork, implement some type of fasting into your overall routine, because just on the mental aspect of it, it will give you a huge boost. Like those nootropic compounds, like I just said, BDNF, that gets released in the brain after a couple hours of fasting, you will feel it. Like, I will tell you right now, you will feel it. And it's not something that I can really explain in words. You just have to feel it for yourself. And a lot of people out there who might be watching this who haven't fasted before, probably wondering, well, won't I be hungry? Won't I be my stomach growling? Well, after you do it maybe 3-4 times, your body will adapt to it. Your body adapts quick, bro. Your body is the best piece of technology in the entire universe. So it adapts quick, bro. If your phone can adapt to when it gets hot out, or your laptop can adapt when to a new software update, bro, your body can too. So yes, you might be hungry in the beginning when you first start fasting, but trust me, once you get that habit dialed in, and it's only going to take like 4, 5, 6 days, maybe a whole week for it to be dialed in, you're going to feel that boost in your brain power like no other. Like I said, I can tell it to you through words, but the only way you're going to understand is if you feel it. Now, like I said, coming back to the physical side, you feel light, but also if you do a prolonged fast, we're going to be getting into prolonged fast and intermittent more later on in this video, but a prolonged fast, just to bring it into context, you will feel your body go through a healing process. Because especially if you live in the Western world, we eat way too much fucking food, bro. Way too much fucking food. And I know some of you guys out there, like me, grew up skinny, we're trying to bulk up, stuff like that. Yes, you need to eat more to gain more weight, to gain more muscle, to make gains in the gym. Yes, we want that. But stuffing our face all the time doesn't even help with building muscle and stuff like that. Because you need to digest your fucking food. And a lot of people forget that. I forgot that when I tried to go on a crazy bulk, just eating whatever the fuck was in front of me, not eating foods that are high quality, nutrient dense, and bioavailable to my body, that will actually digest in my system, be broken down into those compounds to build up muscle, to build up strength, to just build up my body. A lot of people let that just fly over their head. So for the people out there that are worried about, all right, man, the productivity stuff is great, but I'm trying to make gains in the gym, I'm trying to bulk the fuck up, I can't fast. Bro, I'm telling you, fasting is gonna even help that, because your body can actually take time to digest the food that's in your stomach, and before you just pile on more on top of it. And after a certain while, like say you do it once every 3 months, once every 4 months, you do a prolonged fast, essentially what you're doing, like, you know how we take a shower every day? I hope you're taking a fucking shower every day, stank ass motherfucker. Like, you're just washing your body, cleansing the external body. What fasting does is essentially cleanse the internal parts of your body. There's so much shit, so much junk. Even if you're eating healthy, even if you have a good diet, even if you're doing all the right things, there's just accumulation of junk over time. Like, that's just the case. That's why fasting is a thing. That's why fasting was a part of every ancient culture, every ancient spiritual tradition, every ancient philosophy, every ancient even medical types of philosophies. It was all ingrained into it. Like back then, when you get sick, they didn't give you pills and stuff like that. The first thing they did was tell you to fast, because your body can revert its attention and its focus from resting and digesting to repair and rejuvenation. And when you're sick, that's all your body is doing, is repairing itself and rejuvenating itself back to its normal baseline. But if you're not sick, you are still sick to a certain degree, because you got a bunch of junk within the modern world we live in today. It doesn't matter how dialed in you are on your biohacking, you're gonna accumulate some type of junk in your body. This is a time where your body can actually cleanse it out. It's not by eating more food, it's not by taking all these supplements, it's not by doing any of that stuff. It's by doing less. Less is more, especially when it comes to the Western world. If you live in the Western world, we're all programmed to get more. But in reality, sometimes less is more. Sometimes if you subtract you do addition by subtraction. Sometimes by taking stuff out, by eating so much damn food, you take that a little bit out, your body's gonna be more primed, more in tune, more of a well-oiled machine that it's supposed to be. So, reverting to the physical sense, you're gonna be cleansing out the system, and the system is gonna work properly. So, if let's say back to that example of trying to build up more muscle, your body's gonna do that more efficiently, because it doesn't have to direct all its attention to repairing yourself because all this junk. It doesn't have to direct its attention to digesting all the time 24/7 because you're just always putting on food on top of it. It can actually direct its attention to what you're trying to make it do. Yes, you're gonna eat food still while doing it, but doing fasting to certain window periods, intermittent periods, will help you when it comes to your physical pursuits. And let's say you want to lose weight, bro, fasting is gonna help you like no other. You're eating less food, you're getting a nootropic boost, so you're not always thinking about, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm hungry. Yes, it's gonna be hard and difficult in the beginning, but let's say if you're trying to lose weight, adding in fasting will raise your metabolic abilities to burn fat. So it's gonna help you more. Let's say if you want to do cardio, you do fasted cardio. You're gonna burn more fat by doing that than by eating food, then doing cardio. You're just burning off the food that you just ate. Your body's gonna be able to get in more ketosis state. If you guys know what that is, when you fast, you're using fat as fuel rather than carbs, rather than muscle protein, stuff like that. You're essentially hacking the system to use fat, which are reserve stores of energy in your body, but using that as the essential, the primary source of fuel. It's not the secondary or tertiary, it's the primary source of fuel for your body. So your body will burn that off, and then you're gonna be shredding down like that. If you're a person who is struggling to lose weight, adding fasting into your routine will change the fucking game. I'm telling you right now. Change the fucking game. So, on the physical sense, you get all those nice benefits. And one of the biggest benefit I would say on the physical sense is that feeling of lightness. That feeling of you don't feel like if you had a big meal, you're like, oh, fuck, man, bro, I need to sit down, I need to lay down. You don't feel like that at all throughout the day. At all. You're very active, you're very energetic, you're very in the present moment as well. You're not thinking about food. What am I gonna eat next? What am I gonna make? You're just in the present moment. That's more in the spiritual sense, but it also bleeds on over to the physical sense, to where that lightness in your body even makes you act differently. Like on a social sense, if you go out when you're fasted, you're able to talk more. I do all of these videos, all of my other videos, especially these videos, fasted. It's the morning, I'm fasted. I haven't ate anything yet, just water, electrolytes, stuff like that. Obviously, that is important, and we're gonna talk about that. Just wait. Yeah, I do all of these fasted. That's why even stuff unscripted, you might be thinking, man, like how is he doing like a 30-minute video just off the dome, just talking about all these things? Well, not only do I practice this is what I do, this is my shit, this is what I really do, but fasting also helps it, because I've tried recording after eating, and bro, you're sluggish, you're not very talkative, you're not very energetic, you're not very enthusiastic, and that's part of the game. That's part of your biological frame. That's a fucking bar. Like, you cannot exert all your energy externally when internally your body is having to digest all that food you just put into it. So let's say in the mornings you want to go out to a gathering with your friends, and let's say you're a person who's not very social, who's not very in tune with social skills. Fast, bro. I'm telling you, that is gonna help fix that problem. Like, you might be like, dude, this guy is talking a whole lot of bullshit right now. I'm telling you, you are not gonna be in that state of like okay, like I'm reserved, I'm chill, I'm like, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? You're gonna be more upbeat. Like like I keep saying, I can't explain it through words, but you just gotta feel it. And you can't just do it for 1 or 2 days. Like I said, you gotta do this for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to actually ingrain it to a part of your habit, to where it's a part of your, essentially your persona, your personality, your routine, your overall beingness. Fasting is a part of you. And you do that, like I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna act completely different around people. You're gonna act completely different when it comes to your work. You're gonna act completely different in your overall life. And now, taking that over onto the spiritual sense, fasting is probably one of the best ways, closest ways you can get in direct connection to the eternal source, God, the universe, the all being, the most high. Because there's a reason why religious figures like Jesus, like Buddha, like Muhammad, like all these sages, these mystics, these yogis, all these people did super fucking prolonged fasts. Moses, Abraham, like all these people you can think of, bro. All these people, Krishna, Shiva, like all these types of figures, whether you want to believe in them or not, maybe that's not your faith, or maybe that is your faith. Like I'm just giving out examples, like just overall how it's been a part of every single tradition, every single culture, every single spiritual figure. Like this is a way where you detach from the material, the physical, your animalistic senses, to where your levels of consciousness rise up. You're not thinking about food all the time. Your levels of consciousness rise up to God. To you want to eat the fruit of, well, Christians might think, oh man, that's demonic. You want to eat the fruit of knowledge, of gnosis, of knowledge of the divine. You want to eat that. You're hungry for that. Your hunger for that is trying to be quenched by getting into these deeper meditative states. Like if you do meditation, that's why I said in my ebook, the Semen Retention ebook, if you do practice semen retention, which I guarantee you most of you guys do who watch this channel, of course. If you haven't yet got that, make sure you go check out the full guide on the main channel. Just type in how to succeed on semen retention. You'll see Fulati Fitness right there. Click on it. There's a whole audio series I did on the ebook, so you can go check out on the main channel as well. But also grab the ebook, bro. It's free. It's right there for you. But in that, I talked about a whole meditation practice, and I said in the first step, this is ideally done on an empty stomach. You want to be fasted when you do meditation. Hey, get the hell out of here. You want to be fasted when you do meditation, not only because the breath workout routine I showed you is deals with your abdominal muscles. You don't want to have a bunch of food in your stomach. It's gonna hurt if you do that pose, that the Mahabandha I showed in the meditation routine, whether that's through the video or that's through the ebook. But also when you're fasted, you get into much deeper states of meditation. That's why I'm telling you, bro, any type of meditation you do, whether it's the one I showed you guys or the one that you do on your daily routine, you want to do it fasted. And ideally, you want to do this in the morning. Ideally, you want to do this early in the morning. I don't have the ability to do it super early. I don't get up at like 3-4 a.m. But for the people that are very dialed into the spiritual path, that's all they want. Get up at 3-4 a.m. and do your meditations like that. I would recommend do a cold shower first and walk around a little bit first, but you do the daily meditation in a fasted state early in the morning. Yes, you can do it later on at night before you go to sleep to kind of calm you down, but that's more of a physical sense to calm you down. But to get in those deep spiritual states, you should want to do this in the morning on a fasted stomach, because not only does it, your body is clear, your body is tapped into that light state, like I said before, but your level of consciousness is not bogged down to the animalistic lower states of food, water, this, that. Like, you don't think about these things. That's why semen retention, what I like to compare it to, is a form of fasting. It's a form of fasting of your sexual desires, just like you can fast from your physical desires of eating and drinking. That's why I talk about it so much on this channel, that the longer you go on semen retention, you understand that it's a fasting sense of raising up into higher spiritual centers. Yes, all the great mental benefits and physical benefits are part of it, but the deeper you go into this practice, the more you understand that it's a far more spiritual practice than you might have envisioned in the first place. But you add on fasting on top of that, bro, you're gonna understand that, yeah, like all those mental benefits and physical benefits, like I said in the beginning of this video, fasting, those are great, but the more you do it, the more it becomes ingrained into your routine. The more, let's say you do prolonged fast, the more you understand that it's a spiritual practice more than anything. Everything to me in this world, there's a mental, there's a physical, and the spiritual aspect of it. That's why on Fulati Fitness, that is a main motto of the brand, having a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit soul. You're gonna have to have all those things, but to me, the mental, physical are great. That's why even on my logo, the triangle that has the mind, body, and soul, the mind and body are always the lower parts of the triangle. The top part where it's raising up is the soul. The soul is the top level of everything. The spiritual realm is the top level of everything. Everything else emanates from that, because that is the highest level of consciousness, the highest level of vibration and frequency within this game of life. Even though we can't see it, we can't taste it, we can't touch it, we can't always do tangible things to the spiritual plane, unless you raise up your level of consciousness to be in that plane all the time, it still is the overarching most important, I would like to say, I'm doing quotations for the people just listening to it, it's the most important because it's the one that starts everything, and that's where everything ends. It's where everything begins and where everything ends, is a better way to say it. So when you tap into higher levels of spirituality through practices like fasting, which it will do, like I said before, you are going to be able to not only receive spiritual downloads, universal downloads, spiritual insights, what I like to call it better than anything else, gnosis, a Greek word for knowledge that only comes from within, divine knowledge, like universal downloads, spiritual downloads, those are great. Those are more new age term, but gnosis, that just sounds hard as fuck. Come on, man, gnosis. That's why I named one of my tiers on Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon, which is dropping soon. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be doing a whole guide to fasting on there, a full detailed fasting guide for everybody on the Patreon. Still hasn't dropped live yet, but again, for the people that watch this channel, for the people that are on my Discord, only you guys know about it, to where you guys can RSVP your spot before anybody else, before it goes live. So if you want to do that, if you're interested in stuff like that, fasting guides, psychedelic guides, biohacking guides, lectures, certain tiers are going to be getting not one-on-one, but group monthly calls. We're getting a roundtable meeting, Zoom meeting, talk to each other, private Discord, private group chats, all that good stuff, man, exclusive content. If you're interested in any of that, please DM me on Discord or on Instagram. Both links are going to be posted into the pinned comment of this video. Just say Patreon, and I'll give you the details afterwards, and you can choose to decide to join up, or you can wait till it goes live, because you have the chance to RSVP your spot before anybody else. Yes, sir. That's only for the people who fuck with What the Fulati and who are on the Discord server. But like I was saying, Gnosis, that's why I called it the School of Gnosis, one of the tiers. School of understanding that divine knowledge that's only found within is completely different from mine, but I'm giving you the tools to get out there and make it happen, like a whole fasting guide, like I'm talking about right now, how fasting helps you get to those states. It's just another sense of where you won't look at the material and physical world, even the mental plane, the same when you receive those types of intuitive information where you can only get it from within through stuff like fasting, through stuff like maybe psychedelics, semen retention, all that stuff, bro, come together to form pathways and tools to access those higher levels of consciousness and access that divine knowledge, gnosis, that's only found within. And when you get that stuff, not only does it help you, of course, on your spiritual development, but like I said, the spiritual realm overarches over everything else. So it's going to help you mentally, it's going to help you physically, because it is the superior. If whatever knowledge you get on the superior, any type of knowledge you get on the superior will correlate to the inferior. As above, so below. Come on, man, this is hermetic knowledge. This is ancient knowledge that if you understand how the spiritual is the highest, it is the above, so things will happen in below. And that is the higher frequency, so it's higher. You have to raise yourself up to a higher frequency to get that type of knowledge, to stuff like fasting, but it's gonna correlate to lower ends of frequency on the material, the physical, the mental, all that stuff, man. So I would say out of all the benefits of fasting, obviously, you know, I talk about spirituality on this channel. I think it's a big part of your overall development on your quote-unquote self-improvement journey, even though all you guys watching this are probably graduating from self-improvement and getting onto self-mastery, which is the ultimate path, which is what I preach and which is what my channel, what my brand and all this type of knowledge is trying to gear you towards, rather than, oh, I'm just improving myself, trying to become the just 1% better every day. No, you're trying to become the ultimate percent. You don't have any limitations to you anymore when you go on the path of self-mastery. There is no 100%, there is no 200%, there's just only the eternal percent. God damn, that's fucking spitting, bro. But yeah, the spiritual is by far the most beneficial parts of this practice. And the spiritual, I would say, comes more from the prolonged fast. I would say the mental benefits come when you do intermittent fasting. Yes, if you do prolonged fasting, it's just going to raise it up to another level. But you don't get those benefits off rip like intermittent style. If you just do intermittent, you're going to get benefits of the mental and the physical, but you won't get the spiritual, in my opinion. Physical, again, if you prolong it, you're going to get more enhanced versions of those benefits we talked about. But intermittent is still going to give you those benefits. But the spiritual, you got to do the prolonged fast. That is where you save a couple, maybe a day. You can just do 24 hours. You can only just do 24 hours to start off. And you might think like, damn, that's a lot, bro. Trust me, your body's capable of doing it, especially if you work your way up by just doing intermittent first. Please do intermittent first. Don't just jump into a 24-hour fast if you've never done any fasting before, okay? Don't do that. That's why I'm gonna be teaching you guys stuff like this on the guides for the people on the Patreon. Like, you don't want to just jump straight into it. You don't want to just make it like you're climbing up Mount Everest before you've ever even climbed up a little hill. You want to break things down brick by brick to actually be able to put it all together, to raise yourself up, to have that skill, to have that skin in the game, to take on a bigger challenge like a 24-hour fast, like a 48-hour fast, and later on 72-hour fast. The most I've done was a 29, almost like 30 hours. 30 hours, and like what I've talked about before on this channel, I like to do it in a sense where it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but a full fast from everything. Those prolonged fasts, I want to do a full fast from everything. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to go really even talk to a lot of people. I don't want to be around even like the city I'm in, the place I'm in. I want to break my routine. I want to get out in the wilderness on a hike, whatever it is, maybe some psychedelics involved. Not all the time, obviously not all the time. You don't want to jump into a psychedelic trip on fasting if you haven't even done fasting, or God forbid, the first time you do psychedelics. That's why I'm going to be making a psychedelic guide on the Patreon, bro. How to actually use psychedelics properly for spiritual development and psychological development, because that's one of the biggest tools it's used for. Well, today we're not talking about psychedelics, but what those prolonged fasts, you just want to detach from everything, bro. You want to get away. You want to get just fully immersed into nature, into the psychological aspects of you, where you can just kind of like let go. There's no more, I gotta do this today, I gotta do that today. You don't have a plan. It's all intuitive. You're tapping into that feminine state, like I talked about so much on this channel, where you can receive those spiritual insights, the divine knowledge. You can do deep, deep, deep meditative sessions. Maybe it's an hour long, maybe it's 2 hours long. Maybe you're just hike up to a crazy mountain and you just meditate up there like a boss, like one of these spiritual leaders, like a guru, like a sage, like a mystic, like a prophet almost. You get that prophetic message from the universe, God, this and that, to help you in your life. Maybe it's not that big of a prophetic message where it's starting up a religion, like relax. Maybe you do get to that point. I don't know. I'm not doubting anybody, but you just get all these insights of your life and stuff like that. You can really be introspective. That's where the prolonged fast come into play. That's where the real spiritual benefits of this come into play. But I would save that for maybe 2, 3, 4 times a year. You don't want to do that so often, bro. Like, you do not want to do that so often. Because not only does the prolonged fast, in a sense, is a ritual, a spiritual cleansing moment. Like all the other ones are, yes, the physical cleanses, the mental cleanses, but this is the soul cleanses. It gets a nice deep scrub, OxiClean. It gets that nice, just shower, spiritual shower involved, and you're gonna feel like reborn, rejuvenated, spiritually rebirthed when you go through those processes. But yeah, like I said, just save that for good instances in life where you really need to take a break from everything. Burnout is a real thing, and yes, it happens on the mental, the physical, but also happens when you do burn out mentally and physically. That means you need to tap in more to the spiritual. You don't burn out spiritually, but that means when you do burn out, revert to getting into your spiritual Zen state. Then you come back and you feel refreshed, bro. So save those bigger ones, the prolonged ones, for later on down the line. But intermittent ones, you can do that every single day. Every single day. I do it every single day. Some of you guys do it every single day. And that is just putting windows where you eat, where you don't eat. I personally think 16 hours, and 8 of them hopefully is going to be your sleeping. 8 hours you're going to be awake. But 16 hours of not eating and 8 hours of eating. You can fit in 3 meals, two bigger meals even if you want to do that, or one meal a day diet into those 8-hour windows. So you don't have to worry about, oh man, I gotta get in my meals. You will be able to get in your meals, and not only will you be able to digest them better, but you'll also be able to put them in correct positions. Breakfast is a fucking scam. To just get up, eat food right after your dog's going crazy. Right after you've been sleeping for all that time to where you've been resting, now you just got to go straight to digesting, is a scam. It's bullshit, bro. Don't do that. I used to do that. Everybody does that. You eat your cereal right when you wake up. You eat your eggs right when you wake up. Yes, that is good later on down the day, bro. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. If you want your coffee, I don't drink coffee. I don't really need none of that shit. I don't need energy drinks. I don't need all that. First of all, no energy drinks. That's bullshit. Maybe take herbs. Shilajit is not an herb, but they're minerals. You definitely need your minerals when you do fasting, unless you're going dry fasting. So you can just take that in the morning when you do intermittent fastings and go about your day, and then have your meal later on. So I think that is probably the best protocol. Again, I'm going to be making a whole guide of it to where I can really break it down into more concrete details than rather just off the dome on the Patreon. But I think that's probably the best way to go about it when it comes to intermittent stance. 16 hours of no eating, 8 hours of you have an eating window. But taking to another level, water fast versus dry fast. Water fast, you want to just not just drink water itself. You want to put in minerals, you want to put in herbs into your water. herbs that can actually help detox and cleanse your system because you're not putting food into it, so the water can flush everything out. The water can really do it. So that is a great add-on. And again, I'm gonna put all those herbs and stuff and the protocol in that guide because I can't really remember too much right now, but that is probably one of the best ways you can do water fast. That's how I do water fast. If I go about it, prolonged even, is putting in minerals, putting in herbs, putting in other elements into my water that will help flush out the system. Because you're already not eating food, might as well, if you're drinking water, use other remedies and other tonics, tinctures to actually flush out the system as a whole. Because your body's gonna already do it with the help of water, but you can just enhance it to a next degree. Dry fast, on the other hand, that is where that is more the spiritual, like I said before. You can do the spiritual prolonged ones with the water fast, which I do recommend you work up to first. Do the intermittent, then you work up to longer stints, water fast, obviously. Then you can get into the long, prolonged dry fast, which are really gonna test your resiliency, which is really gonna test your ability to detach from your physical desires and cravings. But the dry fast, what you want to do with that is, like, you're obviously not going to eat or drink anything, but what you want to do with that is, let's say you're feeling that you're going to feel hunger on the prolonged fast for like the first, I would say, 18 hours. Then if you do past 24 hours after that, you don't even feel hungry, but you feel a weird craving to chew something. That is where something like mastic gum, like, bro, I'm telling you right now, I'm giving y'all some sauce that nobody's telling you about when it comes to fasting, regardless, team or intention, everything. I give y'all real sauce, man, because I'm really out here in the field, in the flesh, doing it. But I'm telling you, this small fucking hack, bro, changes the whole thing when it comes to dry fasting, because you're not eating the gum, you're just chewing on the gum. And you don't want to chew bullshit ass like sugary gum. Mastic gum not only is going to give you nice jawline, going to work out the masseter muscles. I chew that on, not daily, but probably like 4 or 5 times a week just to work on that. And also it cleanses your teeth. And also, if you do swallow it, because you can't swallow it, it also will help your digestion. But you don't want to do that on the dry fast, especially you don't want to swallow something that's like hard mastic gum when you're already fasted for that long. That's not the thing you want to put in your stomach when you've been fasted for that long. But you're going to want that inclination to chew something. And especially you're going to want an inclination to drink something. And that's where you're just going to be licking your lips all the time. If you take a shower, if you go in the water, you're going to be tempted to drink the water. I'm not going to be so hard on you, tell you be so hard, like if water drops onto your lip and you go like this and, oh man, the fast is done. No, relax, bro, relax. But the chewing thing with the mastic gum is going to satiate that internal want to chew something, but you're not eating anything, and you're also getting those nice jawline gains. You're also cleaning your teeth and shit like that, bro. It's good for you. But the mastic gum, they're like, if you haven't tried it yet, they're like, it's like sap from a tree, hard. Like it's like you're chewing almost a rock, but it's like Play-Doh-y. But it really gets your mind off of like you're tricking your mind to thinking that you're chewing, but you're not. And that is a small little hack you can use for the water inclination. I haven't found anything yet to where actually it will help you get that quench of thirst, your mind's quench for thirst eliminated. But like that's something you just got to really deal with. That's what prolonged fasts that's what's more difficult about a prolonged fast. It's the drinking rather than the eating. If you do a water prolonged fast, if you work your way up to that point, you'll understand that it's not too difficult. Yes, it's difficult, but it's not like crazy. The prolonged dry fast, that's just gonna really test you because you want to drink and you won't die, you won't pass out, nothing. Like, relax. Like, don't think that you're gonna dehydrate yourself to the point where you're gonna shrivel up and die on the spot. But you're gonna really battle that side of you to want to drink rather than the eating. Especially if you're adding that massive gum hack, you're not even gonna worry about food no more. Trust me, you're not gonna worry about the hunger, but you're gonna be worrying about the thirst. And if I do find a hack, obviously for the thirst, I will put that into the Patreon guide. So again, I'm gonna be doing more research onto that. Tap in, bro. Tap in, because I'm about putting a shit ton of sauce when it comes to the Patreon. But yeah, man, the prolonged fast, especially dry fast, gonna test you more on the thirst side than anything, bro. But trust me, you do that a couple times a year, bro, you're gonna thank yourself. Your soul's gonna thank you for doing it, for actually giving out time to it, for it to not only connect with your higher self, but also to just cleanse your system. So those are the main benefits of fasting on the mental, the physical, and the spiritual plane. Ways that you can go about it, whether that's intermittent, whether that's prolonged dry fast, whether that's prolonged water fast. Obviously, like I said, you want to work your way up to these things. You don't want to just come to the gym and strap on fucking 5 plates on a deadlift and give yourself a herniated disc and rip out your spinal column like an idiot because you have never deadlifted before. Same thing with this, bro. Piece by piece, brick by brick, day by day, layer by layer, bro. You just want to work your way up, because that's what it is, bro. I'm out here in the field, in the flesh, giving y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out of here. Peace.